Parents don't have enough to worry about when it comes to raising their kids. As we've seen over the past decade, the internet has become the perfect place, unfortunately, for predators as well to approach youngsters. Sometimes, though, kids can be a danger to themselves. As more and more children, especially teenagers, post information online, they increase the risk of making a mistake, one that can hurt their reputation, perhaps even their future. Michael Hussey, he's the founder of the website PeekYou, is here to explain that children do need to be taught that you're really never anonymous about what's on the net, and what's on there is on there, perhaps to stay sometimes. Michael, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
You know, let's talk about a generational question. Those of us in our 40s, sometimes we don't understand what the compulsion is amongst teenagers and even kids younger to post information about themselves on MySpace, on Friendster, on Facebook. Why? What draws teenagers to doing this, putting their stuff out so much?
Well, it's a great way to express yourself and to show your individuality and to meet new people, and it's just an amazing place to be yourself. And unfortunately, sometimes being yourself, people don't necessarily understand that it's not necessarily anonymous, that you have a lot of children obviously putting up things that they may regret down the road, and a lot of parents obviously don't understand the nature of these websites. They don't understand if it's a public information or if it's a closed system. And a lot of times people think that oh, I can put a funny picture on for my friends up on MySpace, and it ends up coming to hurt them down the road.
And really the message you want to get out here is that on the internet, it's very difficult for anything that gets posted on there to remain private and not being seen by a wider audience, and perhaps people who you don't want to see it.
Right. Like a website like mine, like what PeekYou is doing, we're showing that the online world and the offline world are really converging and becoming one. And so we want to encourage everyone to act the way they online the way they would offline, and that there's really no difference anymore, because the internet is a public place, and it's all something foolish is just a link away.
Right.
So be very careful.
You know, and it's an interesting point, because as you talk about the online world, the offline world, bullying, which is something we used to think of being reserved to the school hallways, now happens on the internet. They call it cyberbullying, and there's even public service announcement out to talk about it and to warn kids about it. We want to show you one right now.
Today I'm going to talk about Patty. Patty's best characteristics: she's stupid. Stupid and ugly. Everything she does is ugly. Watch her eat. Watch her stuff her face. Look at her. Greasy hair, dirty fingernails. It makes me want to vomit. Her dad doesn't work, they have no money. That's why she wears that nasty pink sweater. Get a life, Patty. Thank you.
Now, Michael, you know, you watch that, and I got to tell you, it's a pretty effective spot. I mean, it's really shocking to see something like that. And that really is something that happens because kids are writing about other kids. It goes up on the internet, and they see it.
They may not think that other people can see that. They think it's like they're talking in a group, you know, at the lunch table. But it's not. It's for the world to see. It's just a link away, it's very important that parents, teachers, and friends educate the public that this is something that is cause for concern.
I want to talk about your website PeekYou in a second, but first I want to ask you, how can you tell if you're a parent and your kids are posting stuff on the internet? How can you tell when it goes beyond hey, I like volleyball and I like watching the New York Giants to things such as things that might show up on a cyberbullying type of thing?
Absolutely. Well, you can't be over your child's shoulder 24 hours a day watching what they're posting online. So my advice is in advance, you know, you have to educate yourself. The problem is a lot of parents obviously didn't grow up online. They don't understand what's out there. So they need to talk to their children and ask them. So where do you hang out online? Is it MySpace? Is it the Facebook? Is it a site like Friendster? And join those sites yourself. Get involved in what your children are doing. You'll learn for yourself what can happen on those websites.
You founded a website. It's called PeekYou, and you're doing what people call aggregating, where you are looking through your website to see pull up other websites you might put in your child's name and see what their MySpace profile is, what their Friendster, what their Facebook profile is.
Absolutely, we're taking all the links across the web and we're tying them back to the individuals behind them. So if it is a MySpace or a Facebook profile, we're linking that to a page about you. So we have over 50 million people. We're going to have over 100 million very soon. It's meant to be a resource to find people, really a people search engine, but it's going to make it a lot easier for parents to discover where their child is online.
Michael, we want to thank you for coming and talking about this, because I think it's a subject a lot of parents don't know about, and they certainly will want to know much more about it. With that, we'll be right back.